Southland, 1 week at a time. SCV chat starts now.
Actually, fun fact, we're not on the hope. Oh, hey!
Hey,
it's
hello
live.
there.
All right. So, hey, everybody.
Before we get started,
Yeah.
please
Thank
remember,
you.
the views and opinions expressed in this broadcast are not necessarily the views and opinions of the SCV, its GEC, nor in divisions, brigade, camps, or any other subsidiaries.
That's 6 groups that we are not expressing the opinions of, just our own.
Our own.
Hope everybody's having a good evening. I hope you're ready for National Reunion coverage 2022.
2022.
Yeah. I hope everybody's enjoying it. Hope everybody's having a great time. That steak was fantastic, Christopher Rice.
Amazing.
There's a party at the Hampton going on, but the party really will be over here
The party
tonight.
will really be at 3 a.m. Thomas Franklin, one of our guests on the show,
Our expert guest
is
from the show.
presenting a sausage party at 3 a.m.
Really could have worded that better, or could have let me handle that.
What?
He is having a fundraising early morning something for J-Bo's campaign. Don't know what it is. Don't know what day it is. It just says 3 a.m.
Yeah, he didn't really specify, and he's not answering the phone.
Yeah.
So we've been calling.
I mean, he came through and gave us this.
Yeah,
Gave us that.
that's about it. That's all.
But
he really
yeah. Anyway. So hold on. We got people in the background. Hold on one second.
I'm Harold P. Franklin, Thomas's cousin.
Okay.
I don't know what just happened.
That was the son of Harold Philpott. No, that was past Commander-in-Chief Chuck McMichael.
Is
He,
the son of Harold Philpott here?
I don't know if the Saskatoon Fiefdom camp is going to be represented up here or not. We'll see.
Okay.
I saw his cousin, Alfred Flingenhofer,
Anyway,
who's the descendant of Josiah P. Flingenhofer of the Indiana Zouave Copperheads.
it's going to be a great oratory this year. Really quickly, we've got a picture we're going to put up later of me and Moose and Matt, or Candyman. Miss Linda Gramblin made us something very special. And just really quickly want to give our heartfelt thanks to her for those, especially the legend, Paul Gramblin Jr., both of them. Love them to death. Of course, we're continuing to pray for Miss Linda and her speedy recovery. We're going to miss her this week, but we know that she's here in spirit.
She's here for Moose Mania. Also, if you don't know, I started the tradition last year for Moose Mania. It's not just a t-shirt. It's a thing we do at National Reunion where you'll see me and a little miniature moose, always provided by Miss Linda. She always gives the best little miniature mooses. So come take a picture with me and Minnie Moose at some point during the National Reunion, and you'll be featured in this year's Moose Mania video that will be shown on
The
SCV
Christmas
chat.
The Christmas special.
No, we show it the Monday after.
You're not going to have time to edit.
It's just pictures. It's not like the gag reel where it takes like a week or two.
You made a video last year.
I did. I made a video. It was just the song. It was a song, and it had just pictures of everybody. And that's really what Moose Mania is. It's just random pictures of me with people and a moose.
Yeah, so make sure if you put them online, you put hashtag SCV chat, hashtag Moose Mania.
Yes, please do.
Really quickly, one thing that we are going to tell everybody is that I know we're not scheduling our videos because we really can't hold to a schedule. We just came in for supper. If you saw the picture, and it's like, hey, we need to go ahead and schedule. Go ahead and go live. So we're
Thomas Franklin having this thing? What night is it?
We don't know. I've been trying to
We're
call
still
him.
here at 3 a.m.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
we're
been
here.
trying to call
Hold
him,
on,
figure it out.
we'll grab you a chair really
If
quick.
you ain't at SCVU reunion, then
Where you at?
Yeah.
Hey!
Oh, that's something for our generation.
Let's
Let's see what you fit all of us in the
Victor
shot.
Smith is all hell Hank.
Yeah, Chuck Mack was just.
All hell Hank.
Oh, was Chuck Mack here?
Yeah, he was. But this is kind of where our secret location where we're going to be going live for the most part.
Candyman lives.
He lives. He lives.
He's alive.
I don't know if he's kicking.
You're not even in the shot, Connor.
I don't care.
Oh, come closer.
Come closer. We're all
Come
friends
closer.
here.
We're all close.
So what did Mama make for supper tonight?
Me and Mama went to Crystal. I mean, it ain't fancy, but it's me and my mama. So.
Hey, you can't beat that time, and you can't beat Crystal. Their chili cheese fries are bomb.
They are. I don't know why. I was driving.
I was tell a joke afterwards.
I was driving.
I forgot we were on live.
I was driving to Mom's house and I said, I drove by Crystal. I'm like, damn, boy, I sure could use it. Just sorry if I cursed. I said, dang.
It's good to have you back, Candyman.
Oh God,
I haven't had to beep anything in a while.
Hey, 2 years though.
2 years.
2 years.
2 years,
We're doing
yeah.
this for 2 years.
At Saturday night. It won't be officially 2 years, but Saturday night is when we
Close
kind of
enough.
close enough for us. So yeah, on Saturday it'll be 2 years that we've been doing this.
It's crazy to think that we've been friends for 2 years.
You really
And we haven't killed each other.
That's right.
It's really come close.
Not one
sometimes.
single argument. So let's
No,
talk.
really, no, not a single argument.
Hello. Hi, Mike.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Alabama Division Commander.
John Boyd was killer.
You want to do it? 2 for 2 on our meal recommendations. Anyway, so just a recap of today.
I sold stuff.
He sold stuff. He sold me things.
Listen, guys, if you're not up here, you are missing a bunch of great new merchandise
I
that's
bought
coming out.
2 hats from him. I love the SCV caps. I love representing my favorite organization. And I bought a SCV button down because I was asked to be at the GEC meeting today. Was not planning on
Did you
that.
buy it? I don't remember you buying it.
I bought the 2 hats though.
Daddy Moose, Daddy Moose bought the. And it
I
wasn't
have no
on-
money. I'm a college student, and then I'm going to be a teacher.
And I'm not paying for them this weekend.
Yeah, you're
so-
not, and it really hurts. I thought that was in my agreement as aide to camp.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
Not
That
work.
75-cent check we haven't got for our moose backs hasn't paid off yet.
Where's the moose
Moose fact. Let me see if I can just
Oh,
pull
wow.
one up. Moose are great swimmers.
They are.
They are great swimmers. They can swim and actually dive and hold their breath for like 45 seconds or something like that.
Mooses
So
are
we're
amazing creatures.
majestic.
Majestic.
They're actually part of the deer family. It's like the world's largest reindeer is a moose.
Thanks for keeping us updated.
Oh,
I have
and-
found this informative so far. God bless you people that are coming.
That's
to
awesome.
this
We're
conversation.
gonna get into the informative stuff here in a second.
Yeah.
Sweden actually tried to have a mounted moose cow.
I did see that. A mounted moose
Okay.
cow.
So today,
All right. So today Matt had to work in gift sales because he's over our.
he's a busy man.
Marketing, I guess you could say.
Marketing.
Marketing.
What's your official title?
Sales manager.
Yeah.
Sales manager.
Merchandise, a little bit of everything.
Basically everything,
yeah.
because that's how it works.
Normally-
for our employees.
Normally, if you see Matt at reunion, he's usually behind the computer doing credentials, but I'm sure he's glad he's not doing that this
I
year.
mean, there's part of me that misses it. I mean, I still get to see everybody, so it's,
Right.
it's the best of both worlds.
Credentials, it's fun. It's best to work them in the afternoons after the business session or on Wednesday. That way you're not missing anything.
Yeah.
Everything really kind of kicked off today with the pre-GEC meeting. That's, they get together and they talk about, hey, what we got coming up this week, things like that. Stop that. Moose and I did some exploratory angle finding for
What?
we were trying to find the correct angle. We were setting
I
up
thought you
this-
said ankle finding. I was like, what have we done?
hoop skirts, man. See that ankle? Catch the vapors. Again, my views, my opinions. I'm expressing them. But on a serious note with that, we will be broadcasting the opening ceremonies tomorrow. So we had to go and find the best place where you, the viewers, can see the people on stage, hear what's going on. Of course, you may miss some of the presentation of colors and things like that. Really, we do this as a service for our members who can't make it to National Reunion. And we encourage everybody to make it, but this week you can see somewhat that's going on. GEC meeting lasted maybe about an hour for what we were allowed in there for.
Yeah, they went to executive session. Got
some updates on some important things that really should have been at the GEC meeting to hear. That really, some of it hit home to me.
We've not drank any, and that's the shocking part. This is just how we are at National Reunion.
Oh,
We haven't-
you haven't drank anything?
I haven't drank anything yet.
Yeah, he hasn't drank anything yet.
Okay, that explains those two. I'm just Moose, and that describes that.
Yeah, it really does. Other than that, it's just been, getting together and connecting with people. We've seen a bunch of folks that we brought on the chat before. Of course, Thomas Franklin. We've ran into Carl Jones multiple times.
Yeah. We only saw Thomas for a second.
Yeah, just.
He
a brief
legit
second.
handed us this and then ran out the door.
It said thank you and went back up to the hotel room.
God bless him.
We've ran into Kenny Ramsey, who had supper with. Kenny, of course, is out of the North Carolina division, formerly out of California.
Yeah, he's
division.
California division commander.
And he's running for Army Northern Virginia councilman. We've seen J.C. Hanna, who's the current Army of Trans-Mississippi commander. He's seeking re-election. Charles LeRae, who we've had on before. Cousin Chuck Laird is what I call him, because we are related. But Charles is running for ATM councilman. Of course, we mentioned Carl. He's seeking re-election as AOT councilman. And Jimmy Hill, he's actually sitting right outside.
Bless their hearts. They know we're talking about
He was seeking re-election. Jimmy. Of course, we ran into the Kennedy twins, both Ron
World
and Don.
famous.
Yeah, world infamous.
I want to give a big thank you to Jimmy Hill. I don't know if you guys have been in the museum lately. Or
Oh
you
gosh,
have.
it's amazing.
Dude, the work that him and Robert have done in there, it's
Phenomenal.
It's great, man. I love it.
We couldn't do it justice.
Especially because the timeline's starting to go up.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it looks it's really good, man. I've spent an hour in there the other day just reading the first half of it.
And of course,
That's
if you got your Confederate Veteran magazine, the portion dealing with the Constitution, Carl Jones wrote that. That was an article in your last Confederate Veteran magazine.
Very well.
Ran into J-Bo. Nothing more you could say about J-Bo than we ran into him. Besides that, we love him and he's running for Commander-in-Chief. And of course,
Disrespect to Lieutenant Commander-in-Chief live on air. That's great. That's
Who
nice.
disrespected him? We did.
We did.
The views and opinions expressed on this
all
broadcast.
we said is we ran into him, and what else can you say?
Yeah. I mean, it's J-Bo.
Yeah.
I mean,
You to know him is to
you
love
either
him.
know J-Bo or you
Yeah,
don't.
that's really true.
And if you don't-
J-Bo's
And if
awesome.
you know J-Bo and you don't like him, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah,
and,
really.
and if you don't know who J-Bo is, why haven't you been reading your veteran for the past 2 years?
It's true. And why haven't you met J-Bo? He's everywhere.
Yeah, he really is. He was all over the
Yeah, he's like an
Confederation.
Yeah, he's
past
like an
6 months.
omnipotent presence.
Yeah, really shocking.
Kind of.
Like he just shows up all the time.
Of course.
J-Bo.
J-Bo all of a sudden in California. Oh, J-Bo, how'd you get here?
I think part of it is the height thing. You don't look around and see him. That.
Christian Lee's on the chat.
Hey, Christian, how are you?
Christian! Good to see you, brother. Check out ACG Chat, our third show here at SCV Chat.
Is y'all done 3 now?
Yeah, this is we have SCV Chat, look around.
Oh, yeah,
and
ACG
ACG Chat. Yeah, so we have 3 shows now.
We're just-
God's.
We're just growing by leaps and bounds.
Leaps and bounds.
Do we want to talk about what our plans are?
Southwest Florida?
Yeah,
That's not officially under our banner, but we are very happy that they're doing that.
right. And we encourage everybody, message us just like Sean messaged us earlier about asking about StreamYard and stuff like that.
Yeah,
If your camp or something like that wants to learn how we're doing this, I mean, it's no secrets.
Right.
I mean,
I say we want to help out.
The
We wanna see this
more,
grow.
the merrier.
Yeah, really.
Except for you, Victor Smith. Nobody wants to see that.
Oh,
Just kidding.
Poor
Just
Victor.
kidding.
Sorry, Victor.
Just kidding.
Love you, Victor.
Yeah, we love you,
love
Victor.
you.
Love you,
Yeah,
Victor.
if we couldn't pick on you, if we don't pick on you,
We don't like you.
yeah,
Or we're not close with you.
exactly.
Yeah,
That's
I
it.
don't like you as
We,
a
we,
thing.
we like everyone, but if we pick on you, we love you. That's our thing.
Inner circle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Do we want to
you know,
talk about the
everything-
plans for this week for SCB chat anyway?
Right, so we'll be going live at some point every night this week
Mhm.
until the end of the reunion. Just to give you a rundown of what's happening. We'll be going live tomorrow, whenever the Heritage Luncheon is. We've been asked to go live for the speech in that.
Really?
Yeah, that happened
Okay.
today. So,
We will also do a special look around the Confederation to announce the election results
right, that'll be probably Saturday and try to.
at some point.
Yeah, and try to.
Do breaking news.
Yeah.
That's not, I want you to get up in front of the camera like that close, do the breaking news, and you just run off.
Well,
See you running in the
our
background.
plan is to try to grab some of the guys who've been elected and talk to them. There's very little changeover on the council potentially right now. Of course, that can all change if there's nominations from the floor, but at least the declared candidates are folks we've either had on here before or on the council. So we're already familiar with them, but we still want to talk to them so that you can understand what their vision is for our organization.
Definitely going to talk to the new electees.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
Right.
We'll try to talk to almost all the new electees, but we can't make a guarantee. It's reunion time. Everybody's in a rush. We'll probably try to invite them on the show at some point if we can't get them, though.
Right, and for our YouTube fans out there, for opening ceremonies tomorrow, will only be broadcast on Facebook. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. Just because it's hard to angle.
Well, okay, yeah, fair enough.
It's hard to angle with the way we've got it already with trying to use StreamYard, and we got
Yeah,
it set
so
up for
please,
Facebook.
for our YouTube fans out there are a couple of you. Thank you guys for your support. I mean, they usually, we get about more than 125 people usually, and we get almost 1,000 on Facebook.
Hey, I'm good with it.
So, yeah, please tune into our Facebook. Just type in SCB Chat into the search box, and you can watch us and support us. And we make all our special announcements on Facebook too. So there's a plus.
Let me think what else we've got. Like we did last year, we'll probably go and do some during the breaks, walking around, showing y'all some of the vendors, things like that, grabbing people off and interview them. In fact,
Just grab Matt, interview Matt.
No, Matt. In fact, I'm going to let y'all do a little bit of filler. I'm going to step out here and see if I can grab somebody to interview.
Meerkat Matt.
What just happened? Hey fellas. Hey Miss Susie, how are you?
And you.
David Pope's in the chat. Good to see you, brother. Hey Christian, when are y'all planning on doing ACG chat this week? Let us know so we can promote it, because that's probably the only scheduled thing we'll have come out this week. Everything else will be by the seat of our pants. So make sure you tune into Facebook. Make sure you share this, please. Always share our stuff. We'll be preaching to the choir. If you're not sharing people, we need to get the message out to other people. Looking like tomorrow, so perfect. So that could that'll be a great time for y'all.
It's great scheduling.
Great scheduling. Let us know when you're going live, because we will need to do an update video on all the news that happened tomorrow. So let us know, brother, and we will promote that. Speaking of StreamYard, we're
Nice.
getting David Pope. David Pope's someone else who started doing something. So go check him out. He does streams every Friday night. You can talk to him for more information about that. Great group he started over there. I've enjoyed it. Hopefully we'll be able to be a part of more live streams in y'all's future.
How's the troll situation been like? I saw we got one post that had some.
Well, one of our
It's a lot of
posts, two of our things went viral. Our secession episode got over 10,000 views.
Ah, nice.
And then one of our Secession Day posts got over 20,000 people. And so we had a lot of trolls come in from that.
It's Jimmy Hill.
Afterwards, we kind of were like, if they're cussing and being disrespectful, we kind of kick them off.
Who did?
I did.
Oh, yeah.
I was
I
like,
like trolls.
I know you do. That's why
Big
I
fan.
kept a couple of them around for you for a while until they started kind of cussing, and then I banned them.
We'll let Matt play with the trolls every
I'm not
Yeah.
really against cursing, but I mean, I know most of our fans are.
Well, it's when they drop an F bomb.
I'm kind of like
You effing
also with
Confederates.
curse words.
You really are. It's,
Paint a
it's
picture.
very nice. It's
It
very
is.
nice. Yeah, if you haven't heard them cuss,
Again, views and opinions are Matt's. Anyway, we're here with AOT. We're here with AOT Commander Jimmy Hill. In case, stop slapping the table. You're making the
Making it
camera
shake.
wobble.
the camera's been shaking like the whole episode.
Stop it. Anyway, we're here with AOT Commander Jimmy Hill, who's here to talk about some of the updates at the museum. We just got done talking and singing his praises. I think he's got something else he's gonna.
What kind of lies did y'all tell?
I was telling about your dancing monkey.
Oh, he's here.
Don't call Carl a dancing.
No,
It's
no,
not
no. Robert Julesen, and I hope he's watching right now.
I'll tell you what.
I give him this-
godsend, right?
Yeah, I give him as many credits as I could possibly give him because Matt was there the first day we put our first section on the wall.
Mhm.
And it was Matt, myself, Jason,
And Adam,
Eric, and Adam, all of us combined, and we put it up, we took it down. We put it up, we took it down. And we spent probably an hour and a half, 2 hours before we were finally satisfied with a product that the woman told me was easy to put up.
yeah.
And so, now I've got Robert, who volunteered to come in and help, who,
Bless his heart.
and he used to put car vinyl on.
Yeah.
So I figured this guy's got to be, good at this. Well, car vinyl and vinyl that goes on the wall is two separate things. But he was still good at it. He knew how to keep the roll tense and everything. So we're down now. We put up 25 and a half feet last Thursday
Mm-hmm.
in about 45 minutes.
Yeah, they're
He
rock and
can
rolling.
put it up there, he can seam it and smooth it out, and it looks perfect. When he does it, he brought in one of those line levels that shoots a laser beam across your wall.
Yeah.
There's none of this measuring with a tape measure like we did that first day. And then somebody can't measure because they'll tell me it's 30 inches and then it's crooked.
Yeah, that's
Well,
what I mean.
Then we go, well, it's got to be the floor. The floor is not level.
Yeah.
But we put a level on the floor, and the floor is perfectly level. It's somebody's eyes that can't see.
I got bad eyes.
Yeah, so,
I can't either.
and so,
Adam.
the museum it's been fun trying to figure out. It's like measuring the walls in here. When somebody puts a tape measure up there and a tape measure over there, and it says, well, it's about 11 feet.
Yeah.
What is about 11 feet? Is it
It's
10
pretty
and a
close to
half,
11
10
feet.
and 3/4?
It's about.
So you order, I go in and tell the printer, I said, well, this wall needs to be about 11 feet. And she looks at me in disbelief like, well, what am I supposed to cut? 10 and a half, 10 and 3/4, 11 and a quarter, 11 and an eighth?
We like guessing.
About.
Well, we did, we guessed. We put 11 and a half or 10 and a half feet. And so we end up with a gap about a half inch from the wall. So now we're cutting and seaming a half inch piece going into that corner. But as far as the museum goes now, we have started at the entrance wall. And anybody that has been at the museum before, you know where the stained glass window is. It's the SCV logo. We are stopped right there at that's the halfway point.
Wow.
We've
Oh,
gotten that
gotten a
far
lot done.
across, which ends the year of 1863.
Yep.
And then we're starting on the other side. We'll do POWs in 1864. We've already got it printed. We're waiting to get back next Thursday after this reunion's over. We're going to take a couple of days off. Then we'll go back up, and we should be able to put all of 1864 up to the corner where the door is at. We're estimating by the October GEC meeting, we will be all the way around to the end.
And you pitched the idea for this final wraparound back in March.
At the GCB.
So that's just how quick this process is going. It's a lot of good process, and it can be done without the support of our membership. Guys, a couple weeks ago, we put the link out there for y'all to be able to donate. If you go to scb.org right now, and you'll scroll down, you'll see a donate button. Click on that, it'll redirect y'all. Y'all can donate directly to the museum fund on there. Or if you're here in Cartersville, Georgia, I'm sure we'll be taking up checks and cash and anything else. So help us, make our museum the world-class place it should be, and help Jimmy keep up the good work.
Well, one of the things
He is
that
doing a
we
great job.
definitely need with the timeline, and we've got dates up there, we've got overviews. We started off really expanded version, and now we're doing sections where we just finished Gettysburg. You would think Gettysburg would take up a lot of space on the wall, but it's not.
Yeah.
We're taking up day 1, day 2, day 3, and a little area about like that.
Wow.
Uh,
Did you mention that it was a beer run? Jason's very
Adamant.
adamant about it being called a beer run.
So we're looking at, we cannot tell the entire story on the wall. We don't have a big enough museum for that. Gettysburg could take up the size of this room. We could take up all the way
yes.
around just for Gettysburg.
And still
So-
not cover everything.
Yeah, so what we're doing is we're doing the overview of the entire battle. And then what we're going to be asking, and we already put this out once, but we're going to be asking again, the actual story of Gettysburg will be on a QR code. So that when you're into the museum and you read the overview and they go, oh, I didn't know that. Then you take your you take your phone and scan that QR code. Now you've got a 5-page document about the Battle of Gettysburg in detail.
Yeah.
And we've announced it on here once.
Mhm.
And so is it
And I
okay to
put it-
say that
yes.
people can expect to see it on here?
They would see it on there. We'll see it on, it's already been put out on the official SCV page.
Okay.
I put it on the Alabama page, the Tennessee Division page. We're going to put together a press release type deal, a flyer, maybe going out on the Telegraph, saying these are the subjects that we've got. And these subjects are changing rapidly as we find things. I got reminded when I went through a detailed list of the timeline. How many of you remember the raid into Vermont?
Yeah.
St. Albans?
Yeah.
That's a pretty cool story. So we need to have a QR code there. I've got it on the timeline, but it just says we raided
St. Albans.
St. Albans. That's all it says. So we need a QR code there so that somebody sees that. I've had the argument too that nobody's going to sit there and read all this stuff. Well, the last time we left, I got some feedback from Jill at the museum that's going, people are asking, we need to have benches in there.
Yeah.
They're tired of standing.
Yeah, they
and
wanna
reading.
read it.
Yeah, they're reading all the stuff, but they're getting tired, especially the older members like me. You get tired of walking around and looking at the walls, and then you want to take a break. So that's something we're going to do.
Yeah.
I've looked into ordering some benches. I can get some pre-made ones for like $109.
Wow.
Well, I'm only going to put, they're about this long or a little shorter. I'm going to put one in that section, one in another section, and then we can push them against the wall, and then you can pull them back out and somebody can sit down on them. So we are,
Battery's going dead.
This might be a question for both of you gentlemen, but someone asked, is Elm Springs open? Talk about the museum and I guess the house.
Right now, while everybody's in Nashville.
Yeah, we got, Phil is, manning the front counter. So if you do go to the museum, just be patient with him. Phil's, this is the first time he's working up front.
Bus is awkward.
He's a curmudgeon, so I love him to death, but he is a curmudgeon. I mean, there's nothing wrong with saying that. Phil will tell you he's a curmudgeon. But he's a good dude.
Views and
Just,
opinions?
these guys are Mr. Cost is back there giving tours. Rick is working in membership, and Phil is working up front. And we really, really appreciate those guys from headquarters to stay back to keep Elm Springs and the museum open while we're here peddling our Confederate gear.
Yeah.
So anyway, what else we got as far as comments from folks?
Just people saying hi, saying hello, Candyman.
I know, y'all miss me, and I love all y'all. I really do. I'm sorry I've been out for a while.
Saying go Cubs.
Who said go Cubs? That's an Atlanta Braves hat.
I did.
You
I'm a Cubs
dummy.
fan.
Anyway,
Cubs fan.
before we get into the baseball,
I'll explain it after the show.
yeah, before we get into the baseball argument, now that we're on 20% battery, Jimmy, when you walked in, you had something wrapped up in paper.
Yep.
So
I haven't opened it. I know what it looks like, but I haven't opened it. If you want to open it, go ahead.
no, we want to save it for the
Okay,
Confederation.
yeah, that's gonna be
I was
for
about to say,
tomorrow. I
Well,
will,
have I
I will
seen
tell. No, nobody's seen
Never seen
that.
one?
No, that's not the one what you're thinking of.
Oh.
I was outside talking to if I tell you who I was talking to, it's gonna give away a little bit, and it's all right. I was talking to compatriot Michael Sims of the Mississippi Division. And if you haven't figured out Sims, as in Admiral Raphael Sims, so what I have wrapped up in paper is a copy of an 1821 portrait of Admiral Sims that he has the original, and he's making a copy for us to have at the museum. And so tomorrow he's going to be presenting that to me.
Awesome.
We have several things being donated tomorrow. One of them is the CSS Savannah, a model of it that's about yay long, about that tall. And the story that I saw was that the man's wife that's donating it, she's from Savannah and always has loved the history of the CSS Savannah. So she told her husband that she wanted a model of the Savannah, and he had it made. My understanding, he paid well over $2,000 for this model. It was made in Australia, and I saw a picture of it. It's very intricate details. So that's going in the Confederate Navy section. We've also got a member down in Florida, Curtis Harris, that when I was at the Florida Division reunion, I was making a spiel about things that we need at the museum, and we need artifacts. And I just threw it out there, not as a joke or anything, but I told him, I said, we have a section on the airlock side talking about Harriet Beecher Stowe, who wrote
Uncle Tom's
Uncle
Cabin.
Tom's Cabin, and the influence that it had, especially on the northern people, about slavery. And so I said it would be great if we could have a copy of Uncle Tom's Cabin right below her section. And during the break, he came up to me and said, any particular version of Uncle Tom's Cabin that you want? I said, well, first edition would be nice. It was made in 1852. And he said, I might have one of those.
Oh, wow.
He said, I might have a couple of them. And I thought, the man was just, he was just pulling my leg or something. A couple of weeks went by, and I got a call from I think he's his camp commander, Darrell Rattery. And he tells me, I've got a Uncle Tom's Cabin book for you. And I said, really? And he said, yeah, you remember Curtis that was talking to you? And I said, yeah. And he said, well, he went through all the ones that he's got, and he's got you an 1852 first edition.
Oh,
Uncle Tom's Cabin.
wow.
He said it's not in the greatest of shape, but it is in better than good. And so I'm just ecstatic that you would think that's not really a Confederate artifact, but it is a big thing that happened during the war.
Right, that is huge about telling our story.
Yeah. And so my plan is to put it on a pedestal right underneath there under a glass cabinet to protect it, have it open like you could read it. The originals had drawings inside of it. And so I'm going to turn it to one where one of the drawings is at, and then it'll say Uncle Tom's Cabin at the top.
Wow. Especially if it's one of those of Simon LeGree.
Yeah, the one with little Eva.
Well, I don't care about little Eva, but I mean, if you put Simon in there, that's what everybody began associating with your stereotypical Southerner at that time. But one thing that you mentioned, you got to get off on Uncle Tom's Cabin, but staying on books, that we have a set of, and you're going to be getting under lock and key Do we have that set up there yet?
Is that the Order of the Rebellion?
No, the Rise and Fall.
Yes,
Really?
yeah, we got that. There's a 2-volume set.
Right.
Yeah, we have that right now. It's on display. It's gonna get moved. Anything, we have a section, just a small section of Jefferson Davis involved in the timeline. His bio is maybe 8 to 10 lines is all it's there. Again, QR code. The full one will be on the QR code. But we need something other than the picture that's about, I blew one up that's about 3 foot wide and 4 foot tall. So you're sitting there looking into the eyes of our president. And so I was walking through the museum and Adam was showing me this. We've got the 2-volume set of the rise and fall of the Confederate government. I'm saying, well, what's it doing over here? It needs to be where Davis is at. And so we're looking for a cabinet now that we can lock and put it there because each volume is pretty rare.
Oh, and it's a first edition set. We
Right.
forgot to say that.
Yeah.
Also, along with that, right in the same cabinet that we've got it in right now, we have a portrait of Davis or a photo of Davis that he autographed. So we're going to have right underneath his picture and his bio, we're going to have that cabinet with the rise and fall of the Confederate government and a photo with the signed picture that Davis signed when he had that taken. So that's how the timeline works. We've got to find things all the way around. We have the Matthew carriage. If you don't know what the Matthew carriage is, it's one of the VMI guns that was donated. We've got the carriage part, the wheels. It's in a corner, but it now has on one side, starting at the floor or from the baseboard up, it's got 2 guns, because it was at Manassas. We got 2 guns from a Library of Congress print that I can see the scratch marks in the cannons in that picture.
Right.
Behind it is a split rail fence, so you're not looking at the walls anymore. You're looking at, it creates a scene. That one gets photographed a lot. We've got the Star of the West anchor. It used to be over in a corner on a wood pallet. It's now mounted where it needs to go. Everything goes in with the timeline. So if we can get somebody to donate some bullets that were maybe dug up at Gettysburg, I know they exist. There's thousands of them out there. So anything that we can get that we can tie into a battle or to an event, we're going to put it in that section. One of the things that I haven't figured out yet how I'm going to mount this, I've got to find a special little locking cabinet to go with our slavery section, and we are covering slavery with its warts, and there's really no good things about it, but there are some warts that we're going to cover.
Which we should, as an organization.
We have someone that has donated a set of slave tags. If you know what they are, they hung around the slave's neck to identify who the owner was. But we have a set. Right now, they're in the archives room. They're not on display. But as soon as I can find a cabinet that we can put those in under lock and key, then those are going to go out where that slave section is at. And so we've got pictures of ex-slaves. We've got information there that you can, how to get it over to the slave narratives where you can actually listen to their words by video, by audio, or by written through the Library of Congress. We're sending you there to find the information. You'll hear things that some of the slaves didn't even know they were being freed. And that's a part of the story that I'd never read or heard about until you go in and start looking this stuff up. So we've got plenty of spots for people to donate, not only money, but artifacts. You don't have to donate. You can loan it to us. That way it's still in your ownership. It's your possession. We're just using it. Anytime you want it back, you take it back. Just give us a letter. But the other place that you can help us at is we're going to have, I mentioned the QR codes. We need people that will become writers. And don't sell, anybody doesn't need to sell themselves short. Anybody can write this stuff. I've been writing part of it. I've been writing most of it. I've probably done 99% of the stuff that's on the wall, the overviews. I've done those myself. If I can write it, anybody can write it. But we need good biographical information on soldiers, the generals, the battles, any subject that's out there. Because there's going to be a lot of QR codes. And we were told, again, I've heard this, well, they'll never use that stuff. We don't have any QR codes right now that are active, but we've got people, especially, I'd say 15 to 22, that when they come in and looking at the museum while I've been up there working, they've got their phones out and they're taking pictures of everything I've got on the walls so that they can read the pictures or come back and refer to it later.
People don't understand how a lot of kids my age, when we go to museums nowadays, you know, if we're going for a project or if we're just going to learn or if we're going to kill time, there are people that will go in there just to kill time, get out of the heat, just to do something. We'll take pictures of stuff. We'll use QR codes. And I mean, you know, I've seen kids that are not even interested in history go in there and we'll be talking. They'll look at something, I didn't know that. And there'll be a QR code. They'll scan it, save the documents on their phone. I'll catch them reading it that night. I mean,
Well, and
kids my age do
the
that.
other thing in my generation, because we're from different generations, even though our ages are so close.
He's old.
My generation, we're all about the experience. We're all about, you know, the experience of something, and we're all about taking pictures. And, you know, if somebody goes and takes, you know, 20 pictures in the museum, you know, that's us getting our stuff out. But more importantly, with the QR codes, because we saw this at supper, you know, they didn't have any menus to give us, so we just
I was gonna say they'll have a QR code.
yeah, and you just hold it over that, so when they're taking that picture, and that QR code's in the middle of the picture, there's that link that they can click and be redirected to automatically. And, you know, that's, and if they keep that, even if they take a picture of that wall with that QR code in there, Apple will now, you can click on that QR code, even though it's in a picture, and it'll automatically take you back there for reference points.
Mhm.
So really the effect that we're about to have on academia is really about to be really good moving point. And that's we're always talking about getting into schools. Well, that's our way to
Well, one of the things that when I
First step.
When I took over as the head of this committee, Commander McClooney made it clear that he wanted this museum to be interactive. He did not want just static displays and stuff on the wall to read without, all they did was just walk the loop. And that's it, you go out the door. We're gonna be doing a Confederate Museum quiz. You can be any age up to the age of 18. It's geared more towards students, but it'll have different questions on there that you will answer as you go around through the museum. And there'll be clues of where you find it. We got one section called diversity that I found pictures of Irish, Scottish, German, Canadian, Catholic, Jew, African American, Choctaw, Cherokee, Seminole. All these ethnicities and races, and actually got 4 pictures of females that served in the Confederate Army dressed as a man. Got their pictures on the wall. So one of the pictures, and that's what this kid gets one freebie from me. It says on the quiz, in the diversity section, which person is listed without an ethnicity? And so what's his ethnicity and who was it? So if I told you it was Patrick Claiborne,
Yeah.
what's his ethnicity?
Oh, he's Caucasian Irish.
Yes. So, you know, all they got to do now is they have to go to the diversity section. They've got to find it. So they're going to have to scan all those pictures, and then they're going to have to figure out, and then they Google him to find out, you know, what's his ethnic background.
But the fact
They're
that they're starting
learning.
to Google is
They're still having to do this. And the other part of this, let me remember something that I went to the Titanic Museum up in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. I was impressed enough with the museum, but what impressed me was my ticket.
Right, it's actually a passenger, and you gotta
Yeah, I've got to find it.
right whether you live or not.
Yeah, so my ticket, I'm looking at mine, my wife had one, and it was a female, if you were a female visitor, you get a female ticket, or you get a male ticket like I got. So I'm walking all the way through the museum, I'm looking at everything to see if my guy's on there. Well, I don't find him until I get to the very back wall of honor. And on that wall of honor, I find my guy listed, and he was in second class. He did die. He was in the water and eventually froze to death. My wife found hers. She never even made it off the ship. She was in third class at the very bottom of the ship. But I kept those tickets. I mean, they're stuck in a scrapbook at home. So what I'm looking at is I hope that we will be able to do this to where we put out some soldiers that are on our tickets, so that our guys that walk through will look to see who that person was. It could be a soldier, and it'll have on the ticket like mine did. It told me what the guy was, what he did.
Can we do it like in the form of an enlistment, or not an enlistment card, but like a, and of course you guys.
It's about the size of, for SCV guys that know about this, you know, we have the paper money that we give away as recruiting.
Okay.
It's that size would be your ticket.
All right. All right, we only got a couple more minutes. We can talk about that afterwards, but I'll just talk about the enlistment, the Library of Congress enlistment papers.
Well, we could do something.
Make it
We
look
are
like that.
open to ideas. You're talking about your generation. Oh, I'm older than Connor. I'm probably older than you two guys put together.
I don't know, 30 and 24 is.
23, ouch.
64.
I still got you beat.
Oh, well,
So really, yes. So I am looking for people to give me ideas that, hey, I'd like to see this. I'd like to see that. One of the things was walking around, you know, we'll give you a set of earphones and you plug in. That's not going to happen.
Yeah,
That's a cost that you incur
right,
because you can't reuse those.
and it's unsanitary.
Yeah. So we want things that you've seen somewhere that really caught your eye. You say, if I had a museum, I would do this. That's what we're looking for. In fact, Eric told me that he would like to see it. It's available. And I don't know how expensive it is, but you do a hologram image that comes down,
Yeah.
and you can have Robert E. Lee talking to you. I don't know how much it would cost, and I know it's not in my budget. I just know.
Donate
Donate for a hologram of Robert E. Lee.
I just know it's out there.
Oh, especially when you get Thomas Jesse to do it, who's in the face of that. Anyway, Jimmy, we appreciate you being
Okay.
on. We are limited by, as long as the phone will let us. And we just got our 10%, so that means we'll probably have 2 minutes.
All right, sounds good to me.
Thank you, Jimmy.
All right, y'all enjoy it.
Thank you.
For everybody that's still out there, we are going to call it here, but tune back in tomorrow morning. We are Eastern time zone. I think, what time's opening ceremonies?
8 o'clock.
So
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock Eastern, so that's 7 o'clock Central. Catch it on.
Yeah, that's right.
We
are on Eastern time zone.
So just catch it on the replay if you can't make it, if you're not up that early or on your way into work. After business tomorrow, we'll go, is Heritage Luncheon tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
we'll
sir.
do the Heritage. We'll be broadcasting from the Heritage Luncheon, and then we'll do a recap around the same time. Guys, again, if you're here, come by, say hey to us. We don't have a table, but just come by, say hey. We'll be walking around doing everything. That's Moose. I'm GCB from everybody at SCV Chat. No Fumar in the elevator if you're in the hotel, and Rudder Frog.
And good night.
There is a place nestled in the rolling farmland of southern Middle Tennessee. A home constructed in 1837, nearly lost to the ravages of war. Saved by a servant and a Confederate general. A place where families loved and lost. If walls could talk, what stories could be told? If a place, a home, can feel love, loss, pain, surely this is one of those places. Nearby is a more recent structure, and inside are the stories of heroes and heroines, stories of battles won and lost. Stories of sacrifices made by the people of its native soil. A place that will tell the true and complete story of the Southland and the war fought for its freedom. From the causes that led to the conflict to the modern-day struggles to protect Southern history. Historic Elm Springs and the Confederate Museum at Elm Springs are the general headquarters for the Sons of Confederate Veterans. A place where the story of the Southland and its historic struggle is preserved and told. Come and discover your history.